Hello. Welcome, everyone. It is Wednesday. Back here again with some Wednesday streaming. It is in fact the day that is Wednesday, specifically the 29th of January of 2025. And we're here. This is it. This is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. Web fishing. Everyone's like, oh man, Wolfie's doing web fishing. Gotta join that one. Love to join some web fishing. Anyway, let me welcome people. Welcome myself. What the? Myself. Welcome to my Deffins, Chocojacks, and Stream Elements, and Sins of Kuroi, and Hamflow, and Yuyuko, and Hamp, and Ronmu, and Deffins here, Wed, Zoli, Matthias, and who else? Tag Barrel, and Duck. Anyway, this is today's drawing. It is me fishing, but it's not me, it's me being a fished. There's a fish, there's me, because I have too many drawings of me fishing. Okay, since I do this game every Wednesday-ish, it's like, you know, I got fishing, I gotta draw something else. I can't have the same images every week. So here's some variety. Oh, it fits. Look at this. It's fitting right there. Literally right there. Literally right here. It fits perfectly. Also, welcome Dakiyoki. Anyway, I'm gonna make the lobby. Okay, you're all waiting to join. Probably not. Wouldn't it be funny if no one was waiting to join? Okay, unlisted. Request to join. Manual. There are other kinds of fishing besides the one I do. Fly fishing. Yeah, but I don't do those. That is not a thing that I do in this game. Anyway, we got this. This is the code. Feel free to join if you want. You don't have to, but you could choose to. And if you are not someone who I recognize, you should show yourself in the chat so that I can allow you to join. Because otherwise, you know, we could have hackers. I don't want that. Anyway, I start today's stream later than usual because very suddenly my uncle and his family came over. They had 7 people. They didn't tell any of us that they were coming over. They're like, hey, we're over here. And then they rang the doorbell and I was like, who is this? And I looked outside, I was like, what the? There's like 7 people out there. And then they were like, surprise. They didn't say surprise. They're just like, here we are. And I was like, okay, well, what am I gonna do now? Does anyone's family do that? They don't tell you anything, they just show up. And you're like, well, you should have told me, because if you did, I could have like canceled some stuff I had to do. I was literally like doing work. It was my work day. And I could not talk to them because I had like work meetings and stuff like that. So they were just like sitting in the living room. I'm like, what do you expect? Just like, if you told me in advance, I could have done something. My grandparents used to. Man, they just do things, huh? Anyway, but my mom was there as well, so she could talk to them. That was fine. They do it at my parents' house. It's like so inconvenient though. You know, they could have at least said maybe even like half an hour in advance. Like any sort of advance notice, especially if you have 7 people with you. Just show up and it's like, what do you want me to do? I can't even talk to you. I have to do stuff. Anyway, they are now gone. 7 days. I would like at least 1 day of notice, but you know, I'll accept half an hour of notice at least. And I also have a thing where like if I get the doorbell, there's like someone rings the doorbell and I'm not expecting someone, I usually don't answer. I don't even look outside because it could be like, you know, what if there's like a person that does door-to-door sales and then they see me and then it's all awkward and I like don't open the door and they're like, I see you in there, you should open up. So I just don't even, unless they like ring multiple times, Then I'm like, alright, fine, what's going on? And then I look outside. But then, you know, today they rang multiple times, and then I looked outside and I was like, oh, I know these people. Also, welcome Delicious Smile. Hate talking to the salesman. They always try to scam you. What are Lua Metal Tea? I have not gotten to that yet. I've been talking about other stuff. I might eventually get to it, but not right now. Anyway, many people. And also, one of my uncles smokes, so like the entire living room smells like smoke. It sucks. And my air purifier stopped working. And so now it's gonna smell like smoke for the foreseeable future. Just a very strong smell. It's like, it sucks. Why would you come over all of a sudden with 7 people and then have my living room smell like smoke? Unbelievable. Some people just out there doing things. Anyway, it's fine now. Probably. I don't know. Welcome, Michael. What a live isopod. What about a dead isopod? I don't know why I said that. What kind of isopod? A pill bug? Shrimp? I don't know. A lot of options. Always thinking about death. Well, you said live, so it implies that there's like dead ones. I don't know. If you just said you bought an isopod, I'd be like, alright. You said it was live. So I had to clarify. I had to question what the opposite was. Here, you set me up. What is bro doing? Anyway, it's good. Anyway, what do you do? In situations like that, your family expects you to do things. Do you just cancel all of your plans and go like, okay, sure, I guess there's like 7 people here, I guess I might as well. I don't know. You know, I got streams, they don't even know that I have streams to do. If they knew there were literally multiple people waiting for me to stream, they would have been like, oh, we should tell him in advance so that he can cancel his stream. But they didn't know. Okay, they didn't know. If only they knew. Wolfie's actually Michael Hawk 2244. No, it's 23... What is it? 2424? I don't even know. Why didn't you bring them on the stream? Because I don't know what they could say, right? The concern about bringing your family members on stream is that they don't know about privacy. They don't know about things that they should not say. They start doxing you. They start telling you information, you know? Then you're like, well, you can't say that. They don't know this information about me. You know, if you have like your family and friends, they would just be like, they'll call you by your full name, which obviously my full name is Wolfie Wolfington. But like, what if they use like a nickname that is not that sometimes people call me, that is not Wolfie? And then now you all know, then you're like, what the, I thought his name was Wolfie. And we're like, it is, but like there's also like a, you know, like a, I don't know, other personal information. And they're like, oh, by the way, we live at this address, guys. If anyone wants to go over here, here's where we live. They would say things, okay? Anyway, I feel like my voice is like not doing so well. I feel like it's the smoke, all the smoke, the lingering smoke smell that's in the living room is affecting my throat. It's all because of them. It ruined everything. And then like my yeah, it is different, right? And then my nephews were also there, and they were coughing. They kept coughing in the living room, and like if there's some kind of sickness going on, this is why. It's because they were spreading their germs. You know, little kids, they don't understand. They gotta like, they can't cover their mouth when they cough. They just cough into the air. And you're like, come on, man. Why? Why would you do this to me? Also, is this new? What is this? Why is there like a pink... Oh, that's a whoopee cushion. Okay. I was like, what is that? I don't recognize that. Also, welcome Props Not Jack. Numbers were 3344. I wonder how he chose those numbers. So I feel like my IRL friends are more likely to dox me than my parents. Have you ever had them on your stream? Would you ever stream with your parents? If you were a streamer? You bring your parents on. I know some VTubers do that. They bring their family on the stream. And I always get concerned. It's like they could always mention things, information that you don't want people to know. And you can't really stop them. The only thing you can do is tell them before the stream, hey, by the way, make sure you don't talk about these things. But you can't think of everything, right? They're like, well, you said not to talk about this. But like, what about this thing? And then they're like, I didn't specifically mention that, but like, you know, you should have thought about this. You should have considered this. I thought your name was Wolfie Wolfington. It is, but what if there was an alternate name? That's the thing. Every VTuber always uses their real name because, of course, their VTuber name is their real name. But people could call them something else, you know, because they have multiple forms, perhaps. See, Namai said, one time my cousin made her son give you. Oh, I thought you said gave you the flu. Sorry, I read ahead. I was like, you made her son give you the flu. That's not what you said. One time my cousin made her son give me a hug when he was sick, and then I got the stomach flu. Okay, well that also sucks. Why would they do that? And they haven't even considered the implications of their actions. They could just show up and get you all sick. I don't even know. Let's see, Zoli said an IRL of mine also streams from time to time, and he once clear named me, which I guess is not that big of a deal. Zoli's real name is not Zoli. You're telling me Zoli's name is doxed, and his real name is not Zoli. Last name 3. Zoli, middle name Y, last name 3. Unbelievable. Simply put a broadcast delay? No, because then I would need to. Then I can't like read the messages in real time. Then you're like, what the? He's like 5 seconds late to reading messages. This isn't real time interaction. And then the quality of the stream suffers. Things like that happen all the time. Wed said my mom would be done, but my dad would speedrun doxing me. Sorry, would be fine. Your dad would speedrun doxing you. Does he always call you by your full name and your social security number? Imagine that. Parents say, hey, instead of just saying hey, they're like, hey, John Smith, social security number 111222333. And mother's maiden name. And also the street that you grew up on, and also the school that you went to. And other such security questions. See, Michael says, man, I should have never called myself Michael in real life. Name myself after my Twitch username. What do you mean? You change your name to be Michael after deciding on having your name be Michael on Twitch? Your first name Michael, middle name Hunt, last name 1122. That's the deal. Twitch usernames aren't IRL names. In some cases they are. You could have a username that is your real name. Like Northern Lion, his real name is Northern. His last name is Lion. See, Zoe said, that said, my parents can absolutely be bribed. I'm sure bringing them on stream is fine. I think my mom also nicknames me most of the time. But is the nickname, like, based on your real name, though? Or is it just totally different? Briefed. It is your real name? No? Brief. What is that? Briefed? Your mother's maiden name. Michael lied. Why would he do that? Why is he always doing that? Also, welcome, Nutritious. Surely his real name is not Jack. Well, we can't confirm. It's probs not Jack. It is probably not Jack. Can you imagine? Imagine him. Give my mom a briefing on what. Oh, brief to like tell them what to not say. I'm kind of surprised when like really big VTubers bring their family on stream. There's like one time when like Gura streamed with her mom, and it's like I could imagine so easily that that could go so wrong. Or like, you know, Ame streamed with not Ame. A completely different thing. Doobie3, who's not related at all, streamed with her family. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. That you could totally do that and have no issues and they would not dox you at all. It's because Choco is here, she fuels my lies. What? Why? No, she doesn't. I think you're doing this on your own. Yeah, why would Michael do that? Because your name is not Jack. Probs. First name Probs, last name not Jack. Pekora with her mom. That is, she did also stream with her mom. It must be so weird though. Like, if you were like a large VTuber, and people often draw fan art, then you stream with your family, and then like people start drawing fan art of your family. It's like that's a bit strange. Especially, it's like it's very weird. It's being evil. What did she say? Choco said, "Did you want me to dox Mike?" No, it's fine. You don't have to. And also you shouldn't. At least not here. You can do whatever you want on your stream. But here, please don't dox. Yeah, Choco, you do that on your stream if you want. Not on my stream, okay? We have standards here. Well, Michael, you can't say that. Let's see, Zoe said, also remember that parents aren't actually incompetent. What did he mean by this? Aren't some people incompetent though? They could be. It might be. Sinzuk Faroy said, last time my username was connected to my real name was 2012. Last picture of me on the internet was 2018. You don't know that. I've talked about this. In that you think that you don't have photos of yourself online, but if you ever go outside, there could be someone just like, you know, taking photos and you happen to be in the background. Right? You could be in like hundreds or thousands of photos that you don't know about. People go on Instagram, they're like, oh, I'm going over here today. They go to like some place. They get food. They take a photo of the restaurant and you just happen to be sitting there. You don't know. You could be in billions of photos. And I think that is surprising, honestly. That's how it is. You can't stop them. We are in an age when anyone can take a photo of anything. You could be in a TikTok, right? There could be someone recording a TikTok and you're just in the background walking around. And you would not have known. And then like, you know, then you become viral. This happens. Sometimes people just take photos of like random things and then like someone in the background is there. And then everyone's like, look at that guy. That guy's so funny. Oh my god, this guy, he's so ugly. We gotta make this guy into a meme. And then before you know it, like some guy is like a meme and he was just minding his own business. He's just sitting there and everyone's like, look at this guy, he's so weird looking. Oh my god. He's now like the biggest meme. It's crazy. The world we live in today. I can't imagine streaming with my family. Exactly. Narissa, yeah, Narissa's entire family shows up on stream. Choco Jack says, my family are not weebs. What do they think of all the stuff you do though? Are they like, they're like, anime? I don't know what that is, but you know, that's cool. Mom is confused. It's like, I don't know what anime is, but you're making money, so that's fine. You're telling me you're going to conventions all the time? What even is that? What is a convention? Like Geneva? Like the Geneva conventions? You going to those conventions? Hamp said, Doobie family stream was so fun to watch though. Yeah, they were doing karaoke. It was cool. They're out there karaokeing. Doobie's brother saying Fortnite. It's fun. Fun times. There's rules here. The fears they don't understand the situation. They don't even know what streaming is. Hamplo said it seems more dangerous if your family just doesn't get streaming. Yeah, they don't even know what streaming is. They don't even know that there are multiple people watching. People live in different places. People from Europe are watching this. They could not even imagine this. They're like, what the, Europe? You're telling me a European is watching? There could be British people watching. French people could be watching this stream right now. What the? And then they hate, they're like, I can't believe there would be French people watching this stream. Zoe said it is, but your parents raise you so you can usually tell how sane they are. Usually. But you know, you never know on stream that if they are not usually in an environment where they're streaming or around people that are streaming, they don't know the etiquette. They don't know how things work. Choco said, I can't be in photo. I'm like 4 minutes behind in chat, by the way. This, I feel like this rarely happens. Can't be in photos. Every photo taken of me disappears. Is that real? What about the videos? What about the videos of the making katsu? What about the video about the other thing? I forget what it is. The demonstration, the dolly. What is that thing? The thing you use to push stuff around. I don't know. You have to touch grass. Someone might be recording you right now. So true. Props not Jack is talking about bald people. Road raging. True. Sins of Koroi said, I like to believe I won't go viral. Well, you could be viral right now. You would not even know. Imagine being viral but not even realizing it. And then years later, you're like, wait, that's me. What the? That happens sometimes. Remember that guy, Hide the Pain Harold? It's just a guy who did like stock photography. And then like he became viral. And then he found out what it was and people were like, you were famous. You were the guy who hides the pain. It's like, I don't know what a meme is. That's fine though, but now I know. Yeah, sell art at the I said Javina convention. Geneva convention. Do they still have conventions in Geneva? Surely they do, right? You think there's like an anime convention in Geneva? The Geneva Anime Con? Geneva Con? They should. Fortnite. As always said, even my grandma has a decent understanding of streaming. Also, welcome Slime Molder, welcome Puliping. There could be a Brazilian people watching you, are there? Is this real? Zoe said, I kind of want to bring my grandma on stream. You should do it. You should tell her. Ham said, one time my dad asked me if I wanted to be a streamer. Does your dad know? Does your dad watch streamers? Does anyone's family watch streamers? Anyone out there, like your mom watches Zerma or whatever? Anyone's family watching VTubers? It could happen. You could one day just like walk into the living room and then, you know, your family's watching like, I don't know, Gargura. Or they're watching, I keep forgetting, Fuamoka. I was gonna say they're watching Bao Bao, but that's not their name. That's their catchphrase. They're watching, they're watching Fuamoko just out there. They're watching Bao Bao. So crazy. Zoli said, I also feel like the threat of me getting doxxed is kind of ... Don't even know how terrible it would be. Don't you dox yourself, though? You've talked about how you revealed your exact location before. That's a thing. Also, welcome Musbroke. Random people dox themselves. What if you go viral on a part of the internet you don't even know about? Right? You could go viral on like, I don't know, what's like a really obscure subreddit? Just like the most obscure thing, just like some vague meme. You're like, what the, like, this guy is so well known, and then they see you on the street and you're like, yo, are you the guy from the meme? And you're like, what? Like, no, that's the guy from the meme. Oh my god, that's him. And you're like, what are you talking about? And they show you a picture and you're like, wait, that is me. You're telling me I'm a meme. You're telling me this has 1 million views and I didn't even know about it? Canned sardines. Yo, you're the guy from the trebuchet memes. Classic. I love that guy. That's the guy who he did this stuff. Wow. Crazy. Start shilling crypto. It's real. Brazilians are always watching. Oh yeah, right. When you're Brazilian, right? I remember because when Twitter was banned in Brazil, and then you were on Blue Sky. I remember that. That was a thing. Classic. I think that was you. Maybe it was someone else. It was someone. It was someone. Yeah, it was you. See, I remember things. Son Mulder says, not to my knowledge. You don't even know. If your family watches VTubers, Matthias's mom watches TikTok streamers. Do they watch the NPC streamers? Do they give money so that someone can just say a catchphrase on stream? That was the thing. Hamp said, my dad is not a streamer watcher, but he knows a lot of big content creators. Like who? What is an example? Does he know about Germa? Does he know about Northern Lion? Russian. Imagine someone's grandma watches XQC. I mean, that's given how many grandmas there are, I feel like it's likely that there's at least one. Possibly even a dozen. Or more. Slime Mulder's family's pretty normie. You could be normie and still watch streamers though. There's gotta be like a normie VTuber out there. You know, people that don't normally watch streams or VTubers. They're like, hey, this guy's pretty cool though. I don't know what this VTuber stuff is about, but this guy's pretty funny. Don't even know. Wed said, my mom asked me what a stream is just last week. What do you say? Live interaction. r/math. Okay, I'm still so far, but I'm now 3 minutes behind in chat. Sins of Croy said, I'm the only one in my extended family that knows what VTubers are. But what if they know and they just don't tell you, right? What if they actually know so much? Because, like, you know, there's people, they don't tell their family all of their hobbies. Many people, their family doesn't know they stream. Maybe there's someone else in your family that, like, is a VTuber, but you just don't know about it. Like a lot of stuff could happen. Do you ever think the guy from the Seabat Reddit post gets recognized? Probably. How would they recognize him though? Did he like post his photo? Wasn't it just like a post? Or do you mean like from his username? You're like, oh, the username, that's the Seabat guy. Remember when TikTok was banned? Yes. It's all cooking. I'm so far behind, I don't even remember what this is a reference to. No, it's all cooking. Oh, cooking streamers. Okay. Cooking content creators. Michael said his mum watches Twitch. He said mum. Mum watches Twitch streams. Which one? Does she watch your streams? Is she watching VTubers? Is she watching I can't even think of streamers. Ninja, remember Ninja? That was a guy. She doesn't watch your stream. Why not? Is she not supporting you in your creative endeavors? Camp said he knows the political streamers on Twitch and people like the Paul family. Because he watches a lot of MMA/boxing. I see. The Jake Paul. The other Paul. Jake and the other one. Who's the other one? Jake Paul. The other Paul. Logan. It's Logan Paul, right? Finn. I was gonna say Finn and Jake, but I was like, that's Adventure Time. That's a different thing. I didn't know about Northern Lion until I mentioned him some number of months around. Well, now everyone knows him. I knew him from back in the day when he was just a small YouTube creator that had thousands of Isaac videos. No, at the time he had hundreds. He had like 500. That was a long time ago. Actually, I wonder if I can find the post. I remember one time when I used to use Reddit. Sorry, not Reddit. Tumblr. When someone that I follow posted a screenshot of like Northern Lion, Binding of Isaac, episode 500, and he was like, "You're telling me he has 500 episodes of him?" And then I was like, "Yo, Northern Lion, I watch that guy. Like, I watch all his videos. They're surprisingly entertaining." I wonder how long. Can I find that post? Tumblr.com. Is it like wolfie.tumblr.com? Hold on. I'm gonna be even farther behind in chat. This is how it's gonna go. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna say something and he's not even gonna read it until like 3 minutes later because he's so busy doing other stuff. Okay, hold on. We got Wolfie. What if I search Northern Lion? Yes, Binding of Isaac episode 396. This was 2013. 2013 I had this one Reddit. I keep saying Reddit. It's not Reddit, it's Tumblr. Hold on. Let me show you this. My old Tumblr from when I used to use Tumblr. Look at this. 2013 January. I have no words. I have no words. As in a response to episode 396. Cheat engine. He was using cheat engine. He had to, did he mod some stuff? I don't know. And then I was like, yo, is that Northern Lions challenge runs? I spent so many hours watching his videos. And then a lot of people said stuff. And I was like, that was me back in 2013. I commented that I did watch his videos. So there's proof, there is evidence that I've been a long time fan, even back in the day. Back when he was just a small egg. No, he still had a lot of viewers. But you know, it's back in the day. I get to brag about it. I was like, yeah, this guy, I knew about him. That was back in the early days when he was not even streaming on Twitch, I think. He did not have hair back then. I don't know, let me scroll down. I'm at 5:52. That is 6 minutes behind. I feel like oh, that's all done. Michael said, she'll sometimes send me texts of her playing WoW and watching Twitch. Your mom plays WoW and watches Twitch streams? What the heck? That's crazy. Simulder said, any VTuber is inherently not normie, but there are degrees to it. Who do you think is the most normie VTuber? I know someone said Randon, and that I would say Randon would be... Would he be a normie though? Would his viewers be normies? There's gotta be like a VTuber that is like so normie that if you were to watch them, everyone would just be like, oh yeah, I know them. Obviously. Gura? You said something about Gura? He can be normie, but deep down he isn't. I think Randon is pretty normie digestible when he's not being super unhinged, which is about 50% of the time. No, he's not. I guess sometimes he's unhinged. That's fine. Hamp said a family member becomes your Oshi. It's possible. Wed said she pointed to my phone with the VTuber. Is that what people call streams? They scream and laugh a lot, haha. And I just agreed. So true. So true. They do in fact scream and laugh. That is the thing that they do. Michael said, people say that, but also don't tell their family they watch VTubers, so a family member from their family might feel the same way. I'm the only one who watches VTubers. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that people you don't even know. There is more VTuber watchers around you that you just don't know because they don't say that they do it. Especially people who are VTubers. It's very unlikely that someone will reveal to you that they are a VTuber. Among Us. Michael said she doesn't know I stream. She used to when I streamed on another. She knew that you streamed. Did she watch your streams? And then you're like, I can't stream this. Mom, my mom could watch this. What'll she think when she sees how I behave in other chats? And then you're like, I gotta make another identity. And then you do. And then she'll never know. Okay, I'm gonna skip some messages. Okay, I'm like so far behind. If I were to read every single message, no, I'm gonna hydrate though. The backlog is gonna be even more, because now I have to drink water. Alright, I've hydrated. Something about upvoting eggs, something about internet being a big space. VTubers have a clip that's gone viral, only a post on Twitter that most people scroll by. I saw Komugi had a Twitter post that went viral. She was playing Roblox, and then there was a kid who said a slur. And that thing got like 5 million views on Twitter. I didn't even know that was possible. 5 million views? That's crazy. Komugi the graph. I said graph. Gerard. No, Komugi. The alien VTuber. This one. That one. I thought it was an exaggeration. She was like, oh, thanks everyone for the 5 million views. I was like, is that real? Did she, you know, because like sometimes people exaggerate things. They're like, when people get like, you know, a certain number of followers, they're like, thank you for 1 million followers. But then I was like, wait, and then I checked and it actually did have 5 million views. Like, what the heck? It's crazy. Anyway, okay, I'm scrolling down now. Everyone post a bunch of long messages. Thoughts on Year of the Snake. It's officially snake time. That was 6 minutes ago. Yes, it is in fact the Year of the Snake. It is now happening as we speak. Snake from Metal Gear. Cheat engine, Snake, cheat engine. Streamers behind and won't respond. Wolfie but 12 years younger. Yeah, this was when I was looking at my old Tumblr post. He did not have hair. Murderline, he was still bald back in the day. Liked him before the dolls. Let's see, there's like physical evidence somewhere that Lily Pichu sketched me once. Yeah, I was in that same sketch. I remember. That was at the Malaysia restaurant. West New Malaysia, right? I remember. It was like 12 years ago. No, that was more than 12 years ago. 15 years ago? No, it can't be 15 years. Was it 15 years? No. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I was there, I remember. Let's see, my mom plays WoW, Guild Wars 2, Path of Exile, Final Fantasy 14. We're getting so much lore about Michael's mother. We didn't even know. What if she starts streaming? What if she becomes a VTuber? And then everyone's like, what the? That's cool. That's wow. This VTuber is so cool. And then she goes viral and then, you know, then she's like the biggest streamer on the platform. What will you even think? And then you'll be like, oh, I saw this streamer. And she's like, wait, that's me. It's literally me. Yeah, that is a lot of MMOs. A lot of stuff. The Bart VTuber. No, the Bart, those are just anime mascots. They're not actually VTubers, are they? The most normie VTuber gotta be Calliope Mori or Suisei Shimachi. They're big in music. Yeah, but that's like in Japan though. In Japan, you can be anime and still be normie in some ways, because it is internalized in the culture. But over here, it is less of a thing. I don't know, because like, well, Miku's in Fortnite. Miku is in Fortnite, and that's pretty big. I guess Miku's not a VTuber. Guru represented a football team. No, that's a baseball team. The Los Angeles Dodgers. It's totally different from football. Imagine American football, though. She made the top 100 on the hot billboards. Amazing. Musicians. Animes. Alright, let me scroll down. Angura for the West. What do you think that is true though? I feel like she is like the most well-known English VTuber. English speaking VTuber, that is, not specifically someone from England. You think if you just like showed some random person on the street an image of Gargura, that they'd be like, I know who that is. Actually, no, yeah, I guess if they were at the baseball game or knew about the Dodgers, like they might, you know. You're like, oh yeah, that's the Dodgers mascot, right? She was there for one day. I wonder what happened to her. And you're like, she streams. You're like, what? I thought she was an anime character. And telling me she's real and then I can watch her streams? What the? The chance is, it is there. It could happen. VTuber watchers among us, so true. That is 6 minutes ago. Six minutes ago. On my side, I don't think anyone in my family likes VTubers because I casually dropped the Corona happy birthday gif in the group chat to see if I would get a reaction. But what if they do watch VTubers, but then they don't react to it? Because then you would be like, wait, they know what this is, right? Sometimes there's like gifs that go viral and like people don't know the context behind it. You see someone post it and you're like, oh, I know what that is, but like I don't know if the person posting it knows the context. So I'm not gonna say anything. You know, they could have just found this gif randomly. Maybe. Yuko says, honestly, normie changes definition in different age groups. TikTok brain rot is super normie, I feel, for youngins. That is true. That TikTok, it's taken over. Yo, it's raining in the game. Are you seeing this? It's crazy. Back then, Michael only streamed WoW. Why is he not streaming WoW anymore? See, Wed said, Muna's little brother had her as his Oshi until he found out the truth. I remember seeing some clips about that. It is kind of surprising though. It's like that you would have someone as your Oshi, but like it's like your family member, but you don't realize it. Like, I guess your voice sounds different enough in real life without like the microphone effects and like whatever, right? Because, you know, you add... The sound of the mic is different from the sound in real life. They've got different tuning. They've got like, you know, the reverberations in the room are very specific. If you heard it in real life, you wouldn't even know. Maybe. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if my family member was a streamer and like I found their stream, I feel like I would recognize their voice. But maybe not. I would simply recognize their voice. I would simp recognize their voice. Me when I stutter in such a way as to have the sentence mean something else. Okay, I'm now only 6 minutes behind still. Glorp, yeah, the Glorp VTuber. The place is still really good. Moves location slightly. Had some in August. I thought it was in the same place. Michael said Michael Mom 1122. So true. That's many MMOs. That is also true. Okay, I'm scrolling down now. Yes, the VTuber baseball thing. Gura has plenty of normie fans in general. Does she? I don't know. I ran by a tweet 2 hours ago where someone was at a Wingstop there playing Full-Moko on the TV. I did also see that tweet. I did also have Full-Moko at the Wingstop. I think normie in my head gets defined by someone fairly extroverted and touches grass somewhat frequently. No, there's normies that don't touch grass that often. Actually, I don't know. I guess like what I guess that is true. I do associate normies with people that go outside. Cause like if you stay indoors all day, surely like you're not a normie, right? Well, I don't know. It kind of depends. It's like, what if like you spend all day indoors playing like FIFA or like NBA 2K or like watching sports, right? That's still normie. Even though you're not going outside, you're still doing like normie things indoors. Maybe. Yeah. Sins of Koroi said, I heard a voice in a recording that sounded more nasally than I thought. Yeah, people do adjust their mic settings. And I definitely had a case where a pretty big VTuber I became a fan of, but then realized months later they were someone I kind of knew. I've had that. I've had a situation where I've talked about this. where someone was a VTuber, and then I watched them and I was like, oh, this person's kind of cool. And then I found out I knew them from like a previous life reincarnation that they had. And then I was like, yo, I also watched some streams of them back then. And then I found out that I knew them even before they started VTubing, but I didn't realize that until after. It was like, it's a two-layered thing. Like I knew their previous life, and then I didn't realize that I knew them even before they VTubed. It happens. You're like, wow, what are the chances? Zoe said, by linking your stream to a family member without context, you can put to the test if a family member would recognize a VTuber family member. But why would you do that though? Wouldn't you send them the stream with context though? Like, what would the context be? Like, check out this funny moment. And then you link them to the baby shoes video. And they're like, this is hilarious. What the? Baby shoes never worn, but like SEO optimized? That's crazy. I gotta share this with all my friends. And then they do, and they're like, oh, actually, that's your son. And they're like, what? That's crazy. I didn't even know that he was in the business of talking about baby shoes. Unbelievable. Wolfie's mom is actually Gargura, but he never recognized her voice. That's impossible. Literally impossible. Can we get a link to the Wingstop tweet? It's out there. I didn't like the tweet, so I can't find it. You could probably just search Full Moko Wingstop. It'll probably show up. Granted, these past few months I spent a lot of time outdoors, but still lock myself to streams with my phone and AirPods. Yeah, just because you go outside doesn't mean you're normie. It's, you know, it doesn't, the status is still there. Yuko said, I've been subbed to Doobie on Twitch for 57 months somehow, but that's different though. That's different because surely you were not watching Doobie before, you know, never mind. Before certain events happened in 2001, I think. That's when they debuted, right? 2001? No, that was 2000. Was that just two? When did Holo EN debut? Hypothetically, of course. This is, I'm not talking about Holo EN. This is unrelated to Doobie. I just happened, you know, when did they debut? Was it 2000? They had their 4-year anniversary, so it must have been 2000. Yes. Surely you were not watching Doobie before 2000. Sorry, 2020. Why did I say 2000? No, 2020. I said the wrong year. Sins of Kuroi said, one of my friends didn't realize that his favorite ghost VTuber that stopped streaming for a while then came back was someone else. There's a lot of ghosts. Are you talking about Mint? Mint Phantom? It's probably one of the most well-known ghost VTubers. But there's others. There could have been other ones. It is Mint. That's also, well, okay. Yeah, I shouldn't say. Wasn't she a few thousand years old, Gura? Yeah, she's thousands of years old. As always said, I was cooking on stream once and linked it to my grandma's. My grandma linked it to an extended family member that doesn't know me but speaks English. Her response was, why did you link me this British man cooking? Telling me Zoe is British? Your accent does not sound British. Like, why would she think that you're British? Imagine being British. Ham said, I don't know anything about people becoming VTubers. What I do know is someone in my elementary school grew up into being a professional ice hockey player. What the? Are they one of the most well-known hockey players of all time? Are they on a winning team? That's crazy. 2000, yeah, the year 2000. Okay, I finally caught up with chat as far as the scrolling goes. Actually, I was watching Dewey Placeholder before Holy End debuted. Not that they have anything to do with anything or anything. Before they debuted, how did people even How would they even know? I don't even know. I have phases where my accent kind of clones British sounds. It's in flux. Currently, my accent is very German. Germa. Oi, bruv, it's me, Wolfie. I am fishing. Yep, that is what British people sound like. Oi, bruv, it's me. Fancy a cuppa tea. Got him. I don't know if it's doxing, but looking him up, he was a first draft by the New Jersey Devils, which I believe is a really good thing. New Jersey, I know where that is. I live near New Jersey, and I have heard of the Devils from New Jersey. That, I imagine, is a very well-known team. And possibly even respected, but not by me, because I don't know hockey. But that's cool. You ever wonder if like people that you knew in the past are famous now? You ever think about that? Like maybe some random person from your elementary school is like now super famous, but you have no idea because you don't contact them. Or like, what if they're like a really famous VTuber? What if like you found out that your favorite VTuber actually you went to elementary school with them, but you actually have no context because you know they don't reveal that kind of stuff. You're like, what the? This person went to elementary school with me? What the? This person went to the same kindergarten as me? This person was in the same nursery as me? How common do you think that is? Like, do you think, you know, like when you're born, you get put into like, you know, the hospital room with all the babies. You think like one of the babies that you were in that room with is now famous? Is that, how likely is that? That you were born at the same time in the same hospital as famed VTuber Gargura? It could happen. You would never know. Childhood friend story. Yeah, you're like, oh, what the? You're telling me this random kid from high school is now super famous? He was actually super decorated. He played for the US team for juniors and regular world's championships. Damn, hockey. I don't really know hockey, but that is probably quite impressive. I think that's cool. People are known for that. And like, imagine if they're like so famous for something that you have no context on. Like, what if they like discovered some like theorem in math? What if they're like a theoretical science researcher? And then like, you know, they're well known in their community, but then if you talk to anyone outside, they're like, I don't know who that is. What even is this theorem? I don't even understand. But everyone who knows that topic, they're like, well, of course, duh, he's like the leading researcher on this thing. Can't believe you don't know about him. A niche micro celebrity in their field. Amazing. I don't really check up on what people from school do nowadays. I just do my own thing. Also true. I don't know what people in my high school are up to. There was one time though that I found out someone I went to high school with in my same class was actually working in the same office building as me. It was at the place that I worked at for 7 years. I've talked about this. And one time I was just like going to work, I was on the elevator, and then like this person was like, oh, wait, we went to the same high school. And I was like, whoa, wait a second, I remember this guy. He used to be like such a like scrawny kid, and he was like super buff, and I'm like, what the heck? This is the same guy? He's like, he looks very strong now. And then he was like, oh, we should catch up sometime. And I was like, yeah, here's my email. And then we just never talked after that. That's always a thing. Yo, we should catch up. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should totally. Yeah, here's my contact info. All right, yeah, I'll make sure to contact you. And then they don't. And you're like, all right, that's also fine. And like, we haven't talked in like 10 years at least, so whatever. Wed said, my previous roommate viralized on TikTok and got kind of known, being recognized on the street and being called to a TV program. What the? Got kind of known for what? I guess if you give more info, that could be doxing yourself. Because it could be like, oh wait, this person, oh, you could, you know, his roommate was this guy, obviously, yeah, that's Wed, that's him right there. Theorem, I hardly even know Theor. I was watching a VTuber talk about their school cohort, and it was like this guy did drugs and that other guy ended up in jail. That is probably more common. That's probably the more common thing that happens. Rather than them becoming famous, is that they just ruin their life somehow. It could happen. I've talked about how, like, sometime a few years ago, I was like, oh, I wonder what this person's up to from high school. And then I googled their name and I found out that they, like, killed someone in, like, a drunk driving accident. And that's the only thing that shows up if you Google their name. It's just, like, news articles about a fatal car crash and they, like, were drunk. It's like, man, that's gotta suck. Now, what's the craziest story you have from when you were in school? For me, the day before Christmas, punched and broke the day before Christmas punched and broke glass. Wait, who? What? The day before Christmas punched and broke glass, nearly severing an artery. Like, you did it or like someone else did it? Did you punch the glass? I feel... Oh, a guy. Okay, I was like, am I missing something grammatically? A guy in the last year of school. It's the craziest story I have from... I feel like, didn't we... I was like, it's like, what was the incident at your school? And then people were like, naming very depressing things about people dying. It was like, oh, okay, I thought it was going to be silly stuff. Like, ah, this guy set off a fart bomb. And I don't know. It's always like some... really sad stuff. I don't know, what happened in my high school? What was the incident at my high school? I don't even remember. If there was something, I feel like I wasn't aware of it. I don't know. Yeah, the incident. That incident. What about the incident? What about that time when, I don't know. Surely there's something. I feel like I just don't remember it, because it was like, it was so long ago that I haven't thought about it in a long time. And so it's not fresh in my head. I was in the Go Home Club, I probably missed the incident. There's probably like so much stuff that happened at school we just don't know about. It's probably like some kid doing drugs at school. Like, since I wasn't involved in any of that stuff, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Whatever they're doing, it doesn't affect me. People could be doing crazy stuff, and I would just be like, alright, whatever. Once mentioned you left school grounds for lunch, which is very culture shock to me. Security guards would not let students leave our school without an adult. Well, it's because, you know, New York City, you know, we got stores near us. What is this? Happy Wednesday. Who drew this? Happy Wednesday. Thank you. Yeah, they let us leave the school grounds, but it was like, you know, we were in the city. There was food you could buy nearby. Do I have a yearbook at hand? I do have a yearbook somewhere in my home. You know, one thing that I do with my yearbook is that every few years when I do look at my yearbook, I write a note to myself for the next time I happen to check the yearbook. I don't know if anyone else does this. I'm like, oh, in you know, in 2000 whatever, you were reading this. This is what you were up to. You were doing this stuff. And then I come back to it like 5 years later and I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I remember. Last time I read this yearbook was 2000 whatever. I don't remember the latest thing I wrote. I don't know where my yearbook is. But surely it's somewhere. It is in fact Wednesday. See, I didn't realize how much I didn't know what goes to my family members. One day I was Googling my name like any normal person would and found a police report of one of my cousins that was almost a decade old. That was a shock. Well, hopefully whatever they're doing, that they're fine now. That they're perfectly in a normal position, or if not, then also that's, I don't know, but then maybe that's not fine, but that's up to you. It's normal for higher years in Germany. We don't have guards either. You have to leave the school. Because I feel like a lot of schools in the US, like, if they exist in a place that doesn't have public transport and people have to drive to get anywhere, I feel like, yeah, in that case, maybe it's less likely that they would want students to leave during school hours. But it's like, you know, New York, you just walk around. It's like I'm walking here. Dollar pizza is cheaper than any school lunch. I know that's true. So true. They did have dollar pizza near us. It was more like $1.50. But I remember we had many go-to lunch places. We had a place that only sold chicken teriyaki. We had places where we would go to buy fried chicken with fries. There was a Chinese food place where they found a cockroach one time, and then I never went back to that one. That was a thing. And then they have a place where the other stuff. That's awesome. The what? The cockroach? Probably the stuff that's not the cockroach. Yearbooks are too expensive. Didn't even buy any yearbooks. Maybe that's fine, right? I feel like it's not too necessary to buy a yearbook. Walking there. We usually had many kids walking to the local Walmart, buying stuff from the deli section. Man. Aren't Walmarts huge though? Like, how long would it take to walk to the local Walmart? When I imagine Walmarts, I just imagine people driving to them. Telling me you could just walk to one, that's crazy. We had a Taco Bell nearby. I've actually never been to Taco Bell. I've mentioned this, that I've never been inside a Taco Bell. I've been near Taco Bells, but I've never had the desire to go inside nor buy anything from them. So I don't know what that's like. I remember walking out of school during the big break to get cheap pizza. It wasn't that good in retrospect. Yeah, but it was cheap and you remember it. So, you know, the anecdote is more important. You ever think about that? Back in the day, when you would do something and it's not enjoyable, little did you know that years later, you can now talk about it on stream or as a chat message. And I think that's more memorable than if it was decent in some ways. Let's see. It was right next door in high school. We had was right next to a strip mall. That sounds very convenient. If your school is right next to the mall, you could do so much shopping. You could eat so much stuff. The food court. At a McDonald's, 5-minute walk away. Pizza Hut, 7-Eleven, and $10 pizza buffet. A pizza buffet. I've only ever seen that in Japan. Do I have a favorite fast food? Do I? I feel like... I don't know. Favorite fast food. Like, I feel like when I think of fast food, the default is like burgers and fries, right? But I feel like last time I've had McDonald's, I was like, this is gross. I felt so bad after eating it. And then you think of like, okay, it's not exactly fast food, but it's like fast casual, like Chipotle style. I like Chipotle. It's pretty decent. But I guess it's not exactly fast food. I'm not sure. If I had to have a favorite fast food, I'm not sure what it would be. The one in Manhattan serves alcohol. Wait, which one? The Taco Bell? Or what? I need to scroll up to see the context. The one in... Oh, the pizza buffet? The Pizza Hut? He was doing well. It was a big shock. It didn't interfere with his life too much. Well, that's good at least. Taco Bell serves alcohol in Manhattan. I didn't know that. You're telling me you can mix a Baja Blast with alcohol? You could totally do it. Back then it was really cheap, so it was good for high schoolers. You can get a taco for like 75 cents. Doesn't Taco Bell still sell like a bean burrito for like $1 or something like that? I don't know. Never even had one. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure all Taco Bell food kind of tastes similar because they all have the same ingredients. And that's how it is. It's even better. It was a 10-minute walk one way and then back. Had a supermarket next to the school. Well, I had many things near my school, okay? My school was near so many convenient locations. Me bragging about my high school. Yeah, my school was, yeah, so cool. We were literally next door to, it was like a pizza place, and a Chinese food place, and a bagel place, and a laundromat, and also another pizza place, and another pizza place. And then like probably like 10 delis, and a pizza place that was closed down because people suspected it was a drug front, right? That's a thing that happens. You're like, this pizza place is always open and we never see anyone inside. And then one day it just closed down. You're like, surely something was going on in there. Let's see, I still know a good old KFC bucket. Sorry, I still like a good old KFC bucket even if it's not very good quality. Does anyone have opinions on KFC versus Popeye? I feel like every time I have KFC, I'm like, man, I wish this was Popeyes instead. The chicken from Popeyes is so much like crispier. Quality is so much better at Popeyes. Instead, we got this KFC. I like neither. Man, I think Popeyes is good. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even fried chicken. Anyway. Would KFC be considered fast food though? I don't know. Is it necessarily fast food? Yes? Alright. Well, okay then. Well, okay, then in that case, then Popeyes would probably be my favorite fast food. It's like, I don't eat it that often, but like when I do, it's like, when I do, I feel awful afterwards. But then while I'm eating it, I'm like, this is great. Love this. And then like hours later, I'm like, oh, dude, this is so much oil. There's so much grease. But at the time, it was a good idea. Sometimes so much time passes, I want to reevaluate my KFC opinions. Hamflo can't even remember the last time he had KFC. Do you remember the last time you had Popeyes? Is that a thing? I like Popeyes for sure. Sometimes I prefer the taste of KFC. Popeyes gets too strong to me when I haven't eaten anything greasy for a while. It is very greasy, that is true. I feel like most fast food to me is just greasy. Anyway, that's how life is. Eating fast food, not often. Last time KFC was fun, wouldn't say it was bad. What do you mean by fun, necessarily? I typically don't describe food as fun. I would say it was delicious or not delicious. But to be fun, what does that mean? Also, welcome raiders, hello. Sparrow Phantasm. What were you doing? Shout out Sparrow Phantasm. Hold on, let me catch this fish first. I enjoyed my time there. Food is food. I guess, I don't know. Is fun just like when you had a good time though? When you have fun. Oh, look at that whale. Had fun eating food. Hold on. Sparrow Phantasm. Me Side. I know of that game. That's the one with the characters. that is every game, almost every game. That's the game with the characters. Welcome Egos, welcome Delphinium, welcome Kota is dead. Thank you. Welcome Ultra Fist. Special delivery. Take this crazy anime girl away from me. So true. Welcome Kamuify. Sparrow Phantasm. Hey, do you see that they're gonna have an English dub, an official English dub of Miside? And Lily Pichu is gonna be in it? I saw that. There's a wild time I've been spooked many times. So many a time. I've seen 2 or 3 playthroughs of Miside. And I was like, this sure is a game. That is in fact a game. Well, I hope you had a good time though. Hope you enjoyed the many sides of the character known as Mita. Mita this, Mita that. Why don't you meet a girl? Am I right, guys? People have made this joke. This is not an original joke. I'm simply repeating a joke that I've heard online. If you think it's funny, it's not because I made it up. It's because someone else did. We have fun here. More like me, no likey crazy. Yeah, me. Isn't that the Nintendo character creation tool where you can make your own character? Guys, right? Me? I remember. Nintendo. Remember Nintendo? I remember Nintendo. Remember when they announced the Switch 2? And everyone was like, wow, that controller attaches from the side. That's crazy. And also, you can use it as a mouse maybe, because like they showed it sliding on a table. Not a table, just like a surface. I love Mii's. Yeah, they're great. You're talking about me, get it? Haha, I get it. Because like the word me is like that, right? Yes. True, so true, Wolfie. This is why we watch your streams. For the comedy, because it's funny. It is true. Such a funny feature. I don't even know if that's really a feature. People just assumed it was. They're like, what the Joy-Cons are sliding on a surface? Surely this has to be like a mouse mode or whatever. Which is possible though, it would be kind of cool. Anyway, also welcome Alt Chakar. The Wii U should have had you instead of me. No, because that wouldn't make sense. It would be very confusing. Gotta think about the branding. You think about how the Wii U went. That was awful. Clearly, having something named U is not the option. Obviously, U does not sell very well. The Wii U is already confusing. It was so confusing. Anyway, yesterday I was spending a lot of time reading about the Lua programming language and how to implement an entity component system in Lua. This is where I alienate like 95% of my audience. They're like, what programming? What the heck? Lua metatables? What is that? Metatable this, metatable though. I haven't you meta, you know, I made this joke already. Yeah, I've been learning. Pico 8, pretty fun, you know, ever since doing my programming stream on Monday. I was like, I would like to make my own implementation of an entity component system, because I think that'd be cool. Doing the classic game dev thing of like writing my own engine system. Clearly when one already exists and works well enough, I'm like, what if I wrote my own? No, what if instead of using this library, I just wrote my own? That's, you know, that's how you know I'm a real game dev now. I spend more time coding systems to make game development than actually developing games. I think that's cool. Metatables, I've seen that word when trying to fix my Vim config. Yeah, it's like how everything in Lua is either just like one of those, what are the basic types such as string, number, whatever, or they can be tables. And with metatables, you can use that to determine methods that you can define on tables. If you override the __ index method, sorry, not method, thing on a metatable, It allows you to index the thing. You can define an addition operator as well. You can add two tables by setting the underscore underscore add element on the metatable. You just set them to functions, and then they get called. Speaking of Wii, I bought a used Wii for $50 and 2 CRTs for $36. That sounds good. It sounds like a good bargain. What are you gonna do with the Wii? Do you have many Wii games to play? What is everyone's favorite Wii game? I never had a Wii, so I actually don't know. But I know the Wii was very beloved by many. They had Wii Sports. They had Smash Bros, right? And what else did they even have? I actually don't remember. I know they had Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2, right? Elebits. Gotta be Smash Bros, Wii Sports, Mario Kart, Mario Party. No, they had so many games. Think about Wii Shop Wednesday. But I guess those were old games. Twilight Princess? Oh yeah. Twilight Princess. Yeah, Animal Crossing. They were closing and had to get rid of them. Damn. I guess that makes sense, because like, you know, a lot of times people are like, why would you just give this away? You could have sold it at a better price. But then it's just like, it's just sitting around. Then you gotta like find someone to buy it at full price, and then it's just taking up room. It's just how it is. Twilight Princess was a GameCube game though. What about Skyward Sword? Is that the one? Had a game called Boy and His Blob too. I remember hearing about that one. Gifted that to my sister and it converted her into a gamer. Boy and His Blob. I don't really know what that game is. Although I have heard of it. I'm not too familiar with it. Now it's taking up space in my car until I move out. Yeah, but think about all the, you could resell it for hundreds of dollars maybe even. I don't know. How much does a good CRT go for nowadays? We got Cow Friend joining. Didn't even say anything in the chat. Just joined. Unbelievable. I never figured out how to play as a kid, so I struggled. Boy and His Blob. Welcome, Cow Friend. Also Skylanders. Oh, it's Skylanders. I keep forgetting that's a thing. Are those still popular? I know Skylanders has the whole thing where like they have figures that you can buy. It was kind of like Amiibos before Amiibos were a thing. Skylanders. That was a thing. Skyward Sword was maligned. What does that mean? Breath of the Wild game is Wii U. Oh, it was one of those that came out when the next console came out. I see. So was it a Wii U thing? Skyward Sword. I remember one of the first Choco Jack streams that I saw was her playing Skyward Sword. It was back when she had her old model. It was like when I found out that she was a streamer. I was like, wait, what the heck? She streams? And then I checked out her stream and she's playing Skyward Sword. I remember. Also, welcome Kozes. Do you all remember? I remember. I was there. These are pretty normal CRTs. I doubt I get much. If it's a PVM CRT, those would go for 4 digits. I don't even know what that is. Pulse width modulation. Is that a thing? That's probably not what it stands for. It's not that bad of a game. They're not popular at CRTs, but aren't they like highly sought after by gamers? Because it has a low input delay or whatever. The pixels show up immediately. You don't have to wait for the lag. The lag, I definitely noticed the 0.1 frames of input delay from this. Some people do notice. I feel like I would not notice though, usually. Skyward Sword was kind of meh. I don't know. I've never played it. Wii is pre-hacked for easy Smash Melee playability, but I'll probably use it more as a general game. Oh, you're right, it could play GameCube games, right. PVMs are the CRTs they use in hospitals and TV news stations. They're super high quality and were never intended for home use. Oh, I see. They were like the professional TVs for pros. Do you notice? I don't notice. I feel like my eyes are not good enough for that. My reaction speed is like not great. Some of the early Wiimotes were buggy and made something. Okay, you're sending too many messages, guys. I'm gonna be behind in chat again. With an updated Wiimote is not too bad. I have a Switch on. Man. Imagine. CRTs are a dying technology. Should probably fetch a high price. I guess it depends. Because I guess they're not all built the same. Some of them are higher quality than others. Wii Motion Plus. These days, apparently OLEDs have comparable low latency to CRTs. See, that's what I'm saying, is that I don't even notice. My eyes are not even that good. People are like, what, your monitor is only 60 hertz? That's crazy. I could never use anything below 144 hertz. And I'm like, I don't think I can tell the difference, honestly. I don't know, maybe I can, I just never tried it. Other meme. Other M. They're very sharp in their colors. Imagine the OLEDs. Sully's been wanting to replay Other M. The Metroids. Other M is unfairly disliked. The memes. A fun experience. They're dead. They can never really be reproduced because the parts used in them are super niche. Can only make sense to make in mass production. Yeah, cathode ray tubes. They're not even making those anymore. We don't even have the resources. Combat is out there. CRTs will likely never be made again. What if someone made a CRT startup? They're like, guys, CRTs, it's the future. It's the past and also the future. We have to revitalize the CRT industry. And then you'll have like one guy spend $1 billion. CRTs are the new vinyl. Yeah, that is a thing nowadays, right? People are in fact making vinyl things again. Vinyl records. People are using cassette tapes again. That's wild. I think there are some potential modern applications for CRTs even beyond specifically wanting them for retro gaming. Such as what? Are they used in like medical things for any reason? Like besides gaming, what is the biggest use case for CRTs? Is there even one? Web fishing. Imagine playing web fishing on a CRT. That input lag would be so minimal, it'll feel like you're actually in the game. You'll be like, whoa. And then you're like, look at these jagged pixel graphics. Surely the smoothing looks so much better. CRTs are vintage. I had a 27-inch CRT. I took it to the dump. You could have brought it to one of those game shops. They would have been like, what the? A CRT? I'll give you $5 for this. And you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's worth more than that. And they're like, no, it's worth $5. And then you give it to them, and then you find out you could have sold it for like at least $20. Actually, do you remember that day in Summer Days where the kid is like, I need a CRT for this fight because of the latency? Like the network latency isn't the bottleneck. Summer Days? Oh, see, Summer Wars? Yeah, Summer Wars. I remember. I was like, hey, what? Summer Days? No, I remember. Summer Wars. That was a movie that existed. I don't remember specifically the part about CRT though. But that's how gamers are, you know. I'm sure if you had like a Smash Bros. Melee player, they'd be like, "We need a CRT. We can't play on this stuff. This is crazy. You telling me this tournament doesn't have a CRT? This is why I'm losing because like the input delay is more than I thought it would be." I fished up a diamond. Congrats. They are very rare. Zoe said, I just imagine putting a CRT into a headset. Imagine the latency and the mild humming right in front of your face. CRT into a headset, like a VR headset. It feels like it would be kind of dangerous. I don't know, maybe not. This is a huge fish. I like the idea of them being used for musical instruments. This cool group on YouTube does. Also, old light game technology works by interacting with the CRT. I like the idea of using tiny CRTs for an HMD. I see. Yeah, remember Duck Hunt, the game where you would shoot at the screen and then it would turn black for a few seconds? Maybe not a few seconds, a few milliseconds. And then there was like a white square in the middle. That was the thing. I also thought he meant headphones, and then I was like, surely he means like a VR headset. Headphone jacks in the front. He does mention when they're setting him up for the big battle. I see. I watched Summer Wars in an environment of privacy and cybersecurity aware people. That was a very fun experience. What did they say? Were they like, oh, actually, this is not how this works. The way they represent the transfer of data is actually inaccurate. It's not actually like these. It's, you know, they didn't even implement TCP correctly. What are you expecting to believe that they use TCP for a latency sensitive game? They should have used UDP, okay? Specifically protocol built on datagrams. That's, you know, that's what I'm making up a guy. Welcome, Raiden Bareback. What's a metatable? I've already explained. I can't possibly explain this again. But I could, but I won't. You could look it up though. Melee players often do request CRTs for every tournament. Yeah. That's like the one use case that I can think of. The most common use case for CRT is Melee players. And speedrunners, I guess. Speedrunners of retro games, they do, in fact. If you are like a Tetris speedrunner of classic Tetris, surely they use CRTs because you need to see the thing immediately. You need to see the RT. Calfrin says, also I forget the name of it, but there's 2 other techs for TVs that in development basically use smaller sideways CRTs for getting the image. The rights to them got bought up, they never got made. Man. Copyrights. Always messing things up. Also, welcome Macho Mandel. We is pre-hacked for easy Smash Melee playability. Of course it's for Smash Bros. I wanted to write HMD but didn't. I don't even know. This guy here. Metatable is a way to define methods on a Lua table. How hard do you think it would be to start an RFE to change the name from UDP to YDP? Meeting data protocol. I feel like it would receive a lot of pushback because people are very used to UDP. And I think also people would be like, this name is not serious enough. What do you mean it's not the Unigram data protocol? You're telling me that this thing is not even what I expect it to be. I don't care that much since I haven't used Lua in like 10 years. What do people use Lua for? I feel like every time I search up Lua stuff online, it's like Roblox. Or like World of Warcraft mods. I guess it's you know, it is an embedded language, and by embedded I don't mean like embedded systems, I mean like it's built into a scripting language in games. It's used in Noida. If you write a Noida mod, it is written using Lua. Are there Final Fantasy 14 mods that people write? Is that a thing? Because I know when I played World of Warcraft, like the base UI, everyone was like, oh, you gotta download this mod. Obviously, it makes the UI so much more usable. And then like those are written in Lua, I assume. Does Final Fantasy 14 have mods that are like that? Do people modify their UI? I actually don't know. They use Lua in lieu of other programming languages. So true. I was considering, you know, like when you're writing a software library, the biggest challenge is deciding what to name it. I was like, I don't know what to name it. If I were to write an ECS library in Lua for use in Pico 8, what would I even call it? And then I was like, what about Wolf ECS? But I was like, no, what about Lore ECS? You know, it's Lua sounds like lore. Lure if you were like pronouncing it wrong, and then it's like lore as like fishing. Lore ECS, right? Lua, it's Lua, but lore. Lore, but not like lore, L-O-R-E. But L-U-R-E. Many things to think about. Isn't Copilot especially mid for Lua because it is trained on baby's first Roblox plugin? I don't know. I don't use Copilot. I'm kind of surprised at like how many people use AI nowadays. Even my family was talking about AI like when I met them yesterday. They never talk about like AI stuff. They're like, did you see the new whatever that new AI thing from China that everyone's talking about on the news? They're like, they talked about that. I'm like, what the? You guys never talk about like tech stuff. why are you talking about this? You see this? I saw Nvidia stock. You should get the Nvidia stock because you know when you invest in AI, they all use Nvidia. It fell because people don't know. You're not allowed to stream with it because you get banned, but they exist. The mods. So it's like they're not allowed, but people do it. Oh, in WoW, they were explicitly allowed. They specifically allowed people to write plugins. Also, welcome Wishy Wishy. I used it as a non-compiled language for a medical simulation, so plugins could be added in later without rebuilding the whole app. I think that makes sense. That is one of the use cases for Lua. Is to have scriptable plugins for something that is typically not scriptable. I remember I used Lua for there is a fork of Nginx that is called OpenResty, and they allow you to use Lua for your programs. And I remember Lua was so weird to me at the time. I didn't understand the syntax. I didn't understand anything. I was like, what does this even do? But now that I've actually used it, I'm like, this makes sense now. Like, I still think it's weird. There's a lot of weird things about it. But now I actually understand code that I'm seeing. Normal Nginx has Lua as well. Does it? I thought that was specific to OpenResty. Anyway, now I understand. Now when I see a Vim plugin written in Lua, I'm like, oh, it's using metatables. That's what this is. I know what that is. It's using the hashtag for getting the length of a thing, which I still think is kind of weird. It's using T and then the colon syntax. Like, what is that? That's like passing the first argument as the thing. Do you know this? Lua users, do you know the colon? That's a thing. Anyway, I understand now. Final Fantasy 14 does have mods, but it's technically not allowed. Man. Zully used ChatGPT today. Use it as a semantic rep over libraries. This guy's out here using AI. I'm gonna hydrate. It is 7 p.m. Alright. I'm hydrated. To be fair, that is a lot of coverage. That is true. A lot of games are using Lua. You got Roblox. You got, I don't know. What are some other, like, other games where people can write their own thing in Lua? There's a bunch. Surely. Surely there's many. I can only really think of Roblox. Arguably it makes sense because if the bad AI companies die, Nvidia can't sell to them, well, that's when you buy the stock, because then, you know, it's bound to go up. There's going to be another AI related discovery. RPG Maker had Lua. Oh, I remember I used RPG Maker 2000 and 2003. It had its own scripting thing, and you didn't even type it. You like selected things from like a menu, and it would organize the blocks for you. That's a thing. Been laughing all day over the OpenAI being mad at having their data stolen thing. I think everything I've seen about it, people are like, what? They stole their data from everyone else. And now they're upset that people stole their stolen data? That's crazy. What are they doing? Computer Craft Minecraft mod, Don't Starve, is also ran on Lua. Oh, that's cool though. It's cool that Lua is so usable, because the way it was designed was to be used in other programs. Nice. It is it is a pretty useful language to know, I think. Let's see, my friends use AI to troll each other. Like one of my friends made an AI of a lolcow kissing Hulk Hogan. Man, I feel like in my friend group, what friend? Do I have friends? I do have friends. If you were to use AI, we'd be like, we would not accept it. We'd be like, what are you AI generated this art? What are you? I feel like most people that I'm friends with are artists. I don't know how that happened. Most people that I would consider my close friends are in fact artists. I'm like, why? How did that happen? Why did this suddenly happen? I don't know. But still, if better AI is around, Nvidia still needs to exist. But what if people make AI based on AMD? Surely that'll happen someday. Definitely. Japanese companies are especially sensitive to mods. But what if they designed it in such a way that you could officially mod your game with Lua? I don't know. Then people will find security vulnerabilities. It's the video AI, not AI photos. Isn't that worse? Isn't that worse though? Is a video not just like a bunch of photos? I don't know. Zoe bashed his head against the wall for Lua and Vim. Really have no idea what I'm doing when I'm doing my Vim config. I had no idea either, and then I moved everything over to Nix, and now it makes more sense somehow. Even though I would say Nix is harder to understand than Lua, I somehow understand it. But why do I have no beta attached? What is a video? What a miserable pile of secrets. Is a video not simply many images? They call movies moving images. Okay, I'm scrolling. I'm now 4 minutes behind in chat. ChatGPT remind me I need to run multiple commands in parallel from one program. You can use GNU Parallel. This guy's using AI. I mean, I guess it's becoming way more accepted. Everyone's doing it. Even my cousin was like, oh, I use ChatGPT at work. I ask it how to do things and it tells me. And I'm like, wow, alright. Right, this message was from 3 minutes ago. Don't starve. How close are you with your friends? is a question that Zoe asks. I feel like the relationship I have with my friends is the kind where I don't talk to them for months or years at a time, but then like when we do talk again, it does not feel like any time has passed. You know, because like sometimes you have friends and you're like, oh, I haven't talked to this person in months. Are they even my friend anymore? I don't know. I don't feel that way about them. I know that we've been friends long enough, and we don't talk very often, but you can always count on them. They'll always be there. And I think that's a good friendship to have. It's got no stress. It's just like, yeah, obviously. Gotta love artists. So true. If I recall correctly, depending on how mods work, they can be illegal in Japan. It's part of why they are stricter against them. Man, those mods. What are they even doing? Imagine modifying a game in such a way as to change the built-in behavior. Welcome Eve Z. Eve Z. Eves. How can mirrors be real when our eyes aren't? How can mirrors see what's behind them? What I don't understand. It's crazy. How can you put a piece of paper in front of the mirror and then you put some text behind, and yet the mirror can see behind the paper? What the heck? That's crazy. And also the words are not reflected in the same way. It's pronounced Eves. Well, I mean, I don't know how to pronounce it. Eves. I guess it's just Eves. Dark Tide has a lot of game code written in Lua, like abilities and enemies. Dark Tide. What is Dark Tide? Was that the Warhammer game? Dark Tide. Can't use LLMs at work since nature of my work doesn't make them helpful. Hardware development. What if you're like, which pin should I connect to this pin? And then it's like, the third one. How do I, what's the voltage required for this thing to be safe? And then it just makes up something. And you're like, yeah, sure. I know this is critical hardware and software. And if this is wrong, someone could literally die, but I'll trust you. Everyone trusts the output. Exactly. And then it gives you the wrong answer. It's set in the Warhammer 40k universe, 4-player co-op PvE game. I see. I understand. I've never played it, but I've heard of it. Dark Tide, Vermintide. Remember Vermintide? Remember Left 4 Dead 2? I remember. Anyway, what else has happened recently? Anything else worth discussing on this stream? Do I have anything in my notes? I don't. Not really. Dropping by, asking if you've ever played this game. I've never even heard of it. Is that even a real game? Is that a setup for a joke? It could be. It could totally be something entirely made up. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it, and I've never played it. You got him. So true. Can't believe streamer fell for this joke. He said the game that wasn't even real. I guess it is real. It is in fact a real game. But I was not aware. Also, don't they call him Eggman nowadays? Isn't that weird? That he was Dr. Robotnik in the US for the longest time, and then Sonic Adventure came out, and they're like, oh, this guy is Eggman now. I remember when I was a kid, I always thought that was strange. I'm like, why is he Eggman? Why is he not Dr. Robotnik? And then when I got into the level in the game where you have to like jump on letters on the floor in Eggman's Fortress or whatever, and the buttons spelled out Eggman, I was like, oh, okay. Because in the original Japanese, probably, they didn't want to rework the puzzle so that his name was Robotnik, because it wouldn't make sense. And I was like, oh, I see. That's why they did this. Eggman was an insult they called him before, and now he just calls himself that. Kind of sad. Hey, he's reclaiming the slur. He is allowed to do. That's, you know, that's him. Happy Lunar New Year. That is true. It is, in fact, the Lunar New Year. Asking because you can create custom characters and it's easy to add. Made all the small hole again. Yeah, you can feel free to do that if you would like. Yeah, we were talking about modding games. That's literally on topic. To add custom character models to a game, that's similar. Although I guess I was specifically talking about Lua. He is canonically legal name Robotnik. Eggman is nickname now. I see. I still haven't seen the Sonic movies. I did see the first one, but I have not seen the second or third. But I feel like they were pretty well received, right? Wasn't Sonic 3 like the most popular movie for a long time? Ivo Robotnik, so true. Evo. Evo, like the fighting game tournament. It's reclaiming it and owning it is the actual reasoning he gives in Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers? What about Sonic's back ears? Am I right, guys? The existence of front ears implies ears that are not in the front. That doesn't make sense. And this is movie, canon, first name, family name Robotnik. That robot. Why? Who decided on this name? Eggman. Eggman. What if it wasn't Eggman? What if it was Eggman? You know, like names that end with man, pronounce min sometimes. Eggman. Hey, it's me, Eggman. It's me, John Eggman. John Goodman. Steve Goodman. Steve Irwin. I guess it doesn't have min in it. Min. Anyway, a lot of things to think about. A lot of things to consider. Look at this huge number. 755. 1389. How did they do it? How can they even have numbers this large? John Goodman is such a Kojima name. Yeah, Deadman. They have a guy named Deadman. Deadman. Saul Goodman. That's a Kojima name. Steve Goodman. There's a guy in Death Stranding named Heartman. He lives in a... He lives next to a lake that looks like a heart. Wow, he was really subtle with this. I wonder what he meant by this. Heartman. Living by a lake that looks like a heart? What the... Do you think he existed? Do you think he chose that base because it was near a heart-shaped lake? Or do you think he changed his name to fit the lake? Or was it just a coincidence? I just don't know. No one really even knows things. Sometimes you think people know things, but they don't. It's like when you're a kid and you think all adults have everything figured out. And then you become an adult and you're like, no one knows what they're doing. Such a common thing. We're out here being disillusioned. We're like, surely people around me, everyone knows what they're doing. And yet I'm out here not understanding. But then you learn no one knows. Kojima and his 5 billion IQ. True. So true. That Kojima guy... making those games. He's brave enough to make the games that no one is gonna make. Cinema. In fact, his games are just movies. They are in fact just movies in disguise. And that's why I will not play them. Because I do not lore. I do not watch lore. Kojima's director, who's the writer? I mean, I feel like he probably gives I don't know. What does he even decide? What do directors even do? They direct, they tell people things. They're like, oh, okay, we're gonna have this guy. I'm gonna have this dude. Kojima is so funny on social media. Every time someone plays one of his games, he's watching it or trying it or something. Doesn't he have better things to do? Surely he does. He's out there watching movies. He reviews movies because he loves cinema. And then if he doesn't love a movie, he just says he watched a movie. If he loves the movie, he's like, I saw Paddington Bear. It was amazing. I can't wait for the next Paddington Bear. Here's pictures of my merch. And then he's just like, watched Marvel. What is that Marvel movie that sucked? I don't even remember. That's a thing. I love fish. He retweets so much random stuff like cosplayers. I don't actually follow him on Twitter. I don't even know what he's up to. The only times I see him on Twitter are when people are quote retweeting him. And people are like, oh, look at what Kojima did. Did you see that he watched Pekora? That was cool. Kojima movie reviews, so true. Wait, did I welcome Frosty Klondike? See, I feel like I didn't welcome you because your name is the same color as another chatter, and I was like, this clearly I've welcomed this person because another person with the same color name has been in the chat. And then I was like, wait, I did not greet you. I think. I don't know. Maybe I did. This is a good trait, an instant feedback thing. Wait, for what? Retweeting cosplayers? Mint, I love Phantom. So true. Oh, that Mint. So wacky. Classic Mint moment. Oh, watching people try your games. Yeah. Didn't Kojima say he watches at least one movie a day? I would not be surprised. He's like a fan of so many actors that he would have to watch a lot of movies. Welcome, Namington. Moment. So true. So true. There is in fact more mint. Because Mo is used to mean more in some cases. Anyway, that's Kojima. What's he up to? He's making Death Stranding 2. Wasn't there like a game he announced like a long time ago? Did they ever like say anything about it? There's that one game that was like in collab with Jordan Peele or whatever. The guy who was a comedian and then he started writing horror movies and everyone's like, wait, actually these horror movies are actually pretty good. Didn't Kojima... it's Nope, right? Was there a game called... No, that was a movie. What was the game that he announced that had that? Was it Nope? I don't know. The Void beckons. Are people going to the Void? Catching fish in the Void. Imagine that. We could go to the Void. Anyone out here not in the Void? Let's go to the Void. I thought it was movie with Jordan. Was it a movie? I thought it was a game. Wasn't it announced at the Game Awards like last year? I think. Alright, where's the Void? How do we do this? It's been so long. Gotta put down the flag. And then I put it too far away. There we go. Go to this flag. Couldn't even do it. Invalid prop placement? What? I can't even do it. I can't even place it. Okay, there we go. Pretty sure that it was a game. Anyway, they didn't announce anything about it, did they? There's no one even here. Oh, there are people here. It's like, where are the people at? People are out here in the void. Void fishing. Alright, let me put down these buckets. Anyway, what's about the thing? What about society? What about the entity component systems? Do you know about sparse set used in some entity component system? Do you know there's multiple ways to implement an entity component system library? I learned there's different approaches. There's archetypes. There's sparse implementations. Teach us? No, no one's gonna understand. They'll be like, what are you talking about? And that's when chat dies. That's when everyone's like, I don't understand this. I'm gonna leave, because this doesn't make any sense to me. Let me see, maybe I should not walk that far. Why do you all walk that far? Managed to find permanent meteor yesterday. 2 pages of UFO fish. UFO. That's how the Japanese pronounce UFO. UFO? Isn't that strange? Why is that? UFO. It's actually a UFO because the F sound doesn't really exist. How will we understand if you don't explain it? You can read, there's a very good blog article, several blog posts from a developer of a C++ ECS library known as ENTT. And he goes into excruciating detail on implementation, efficient iteration, storage. So basically, okay, I'm going to start explaining things, but no one's going to understand. There's a sparse set is a way you can store your components and entity IDs. You have basically a dense vector which contains indexes. The index of that sparse vector corresponds to the entity ID. Yes, that guy. That guy has written like 10 articles about that. And then you have 2 densely packed vectors. Okay, there's one dense vector where the value is the entity ID, and then the index is arbitrary. And then you have a third vector where the components are in the same, the components are in the same order as the other dense vector. And then when you insert, you have to put if you're removing an object, you simply move things around in the dense vector. It allows efficient iteration over all components. And then there's a way you can group them. If you have a system such as velocity and position that are always used together, you can create a group such that the elements in the dense vectors in the front are always guaranteed to be part of both components. And then after that, they're not. And then if you have 3 components, you have like shared, what's it called? You got owned component pools, and then you have partially owned component pools, and then you have unowned component pools. It's really quite simple, actually. Honestly, it's quite simple. And then you can reuse IDs. The higher bits are actually generation IDs, and then the lower bits are simply auto-incrementing. And then you have, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff, okay? A lot of things to consider. You have to sit down and learn. I would love to learn a few things about it. I think it was very insightful. I spent a lot of time reading about it. Probably more time than I should have. I was reading about it like on the walk to... Not on the walk. On the walk to work. On the subway, when I was waiting for the train going to work. And then also, while I was at work, I was reading about it. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Never have thought to do it this way. Anyway, there's a lot of things, you know. Welcome, Brooke. Anyway, that probably interests exactly one person in this chat. Everyone else is like, what's he saying? What is bro talking about? I don't understand this at all. I'm just gonna go fishing. What is bro even yapping? Welcome, Chenna. It's interesting, but do you understand it though? Does it even make sense? Been on vacation visiting family for Lunar New Year. Hope your Lunar New Year is good. It doesn't make sense. Well, okay, what if there's diagrams, okay? What about ENTTECS? And then I show you the diagrams and you're like, whoa, I also don't understand. But surely it's good. This one. Wait, this isn't the, he had a separate article on this. I was looking at his blog posts. This is this is a different one. I mean, he literally posted the link in the chat. I don't know. You could look at it. I don't know. Need to learn this entity stuff. I've been brute forcing my Pico project. I think that's probably the way to do it, honestly. I feel like using an entity component system architecture in Pico is probably overkill. You probably don't need it. But I just personally, having used it in other libraries, I'm like, I gotta use this. Yo, who drew this? You? Thank you for drawing this. Your name is not showing up because of a bug in the game. But thank you. I'm even gonna screenshot it. Ma'am. Anyway, Pico 8, very fun. I would recommend it. It's been having a very good time. Pico 8. Really having a good time. Anyway. Why did you all set this up so close to the edge? I just walk a little bit and then I fall off. What if I just go here instead? What's the deal? This is a good spot. Okay, here is the article, okay? Blog. This one. Here we go. Here's the dense array and the sparse array. This is how they store their data. You don't need to know how this works to use it, but if you want to implement your own, this is one way to do it. There's another thing called the archetype model, where things that have the same component groups are stored together. So every time you add a component to an entity, it may have to move. Is that not well? It is what you linked. I just didn't click on it. I had to find it. So yeah, you got a sparse array. This simply, the numbers here simply point to indexes in the dense array, and then the index in the sparse array is the entity ID. Or it could be the, not necessarily entity ID, because like your entity ID could have some masks for generation, but basically. And then it points to it. Sparse array, that he's just talking about the sparse arrays and how they're used. And then later he starts talking about the no, these are out of order. This is when he revisits old topics. I hate how they're all titled the same thing. It like makes it impossible to find out like which part it is and what it's about. See, why is this part not included in the search? Does he know about optimization of finding content on a blog? Come on. First part. Yeah, he talks about the archetype model. Then he talks about... Oh, this is when he talks about groups. This is how they make sure that components that are shared by entities that have the same components across component groups are guaranteed to be ordered. Sorry, not ordered. You can simply iterate over the dent vector up to a certain pointer and you're guaranteed to know that they both have the same components. I think that's cool. You can, if you're adding something, you can swap a value to a later position and then simply advance the group pointer. Hasn't he ever used logseek? So true. So true. Can move things. I can see why this is. It's like, it's stuff that you don't even think about usually, right? Because like, when will you ever need to use this outside of like game dev? Pretty much never. And like, I don't do game dev for my main job. And even if you do game dev, you're like not doing like stuff like this. This is like core library stuff. Optimized for parallelism. Yeah, that's what ECS is good for. Unfortunately, Pico 8 is single-threaded, so like it doesn't really matter. But in other systems, surely it works. Simulation, yeah, that works for simulation. You can write voids in ECS. Does Pico 8 have simmed? It does not. It does not. Anyway, this is a bit annoying to implement in Lua because Lua doesn't really have packed arrays. Everything is just a table. And so like the memory efficiency is like not as good. But I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway because it seems cool. It seems like a cool thing to do. And then like the sparse vector, I don't know. There's also memory limitations. A lot of things to think about when writing a game. I don't even have an idea for a game I want to make. I just want to program the engine. I think that's fun. You ever get that? When you're like, oh, I should pick this thing up. And then like when you're working on that thing, you're like, oh, what if I did this thing that's like related, but not entirely related? And then you spend all the time on like the other stuff. I bet doing this as Rust is not easy. It's probably easier to be more performant in Rust. I mean, that's what Bevy ECS is. They also use a similar thing. Bevy uses a combined architecture. So you can have the archetype model as well as the sparse set model. They have both. I looked it up. It's literally implemented in such a way that resembles the thing mentioned here. How do I... Where's the documentation? This one. Look at it. It's literally the same thing. Remember when he described the 3 components? The 3 parts? They're right there. What part was it? Part 10? Part 9. Part 9 right here. Yeah, this one. You got the sparse array and the dense array. You got sparse and dense. And then the thing which is just the indices. It's the same thing. It's Minecraft. They use this in Minecraft, but like the optimized Minecraft, not the Java Minecraft. The version of Minecraft that no one uses. Bedrock. That's cool. Oh, whale. A huge salmon. Wow. Anyway, it's fun. It's a lot of good times out here. Developing things. It is nice to have like a programming project to work on. I feel like my issue a lot of the times is like, I want to program something, but I don't know what. And then I'm just like, I don't do anything. But then now I'm like, yo, I can like read up on how to implement this thing and then I can actually implement it. And then maybe I could use it to make a game. Unlikely. I feel like a lot of game developers don't actually make games. They just work on something and then they never actually finish. Which is what I'm doing. So, you know, I'm a real game developer now. I've made no games with this engine. But surely someday. It is refreshing though. It's cool to have limitations. Because then you have fewer choices on how to do things. And I think that's cool. Another thing I could do is I could learn Godot. There is a thing called Learn GD Script from Zero, which I did have on my list of games. I never actually got to it, but it was one of the early things I had on this list. Mark of a real game developer is not releasing games. So true, so true. It's literally right here. If you scroll back to like how long ago this was in my list of games, it's like near the bottom. I think I skipped it and then I never actually went back to it. But maybe one of these days I could learn Godot as well. And then we can be like, ah man, what if I did this in Pico 8 instead? Oh, it stopped working. The games list is not loading. I also can't go back anymore. Nothing to see here. RPC error, connection timed out. I was like, is my internet still working? It is. What happened there? Anyway, we got Godot. My plan for the near future is go through all my browser and Twitter bookmarks and go over it. You could do it. Look at this. You could program Godot. Go dot. Imagine going dot. Possibly. Add music to this game. I don't get it. For the first function parameter, the turtle makes another square inside a square. Anyone programming? What do people even program? What are people even doing? Another whale? That's like the third whale I've seen today. Any whales in chat? Anyone spending money on gacha? I wrote the worst bit of Python in my life. I've been writing quite a bit of Python at work. Whale. So true. I've been writing Airflow. You all know about Airflow? I've been using Airflow. I used to not understand anything about how it works, and now I understand it. I now understand Airflow DAGs and tasks and operators, and also the task annotation and using, you know, there's something called XCOM in Airflow. I was like, XCOM? That's like the game. That's literally like the video game where you have like tactical guys going around doing stuff. But no, XCOM exists in Airflow. It's just, they call it cross communications. And I'm like, what are they telling? Why did they name it XCOM? Yeah, XCOM poll key task ID. This is how you pass data between tasks. I learned. I used it. It actually makes a lot of sense. And then you can have operators. You can have things that allow you to skip tasks. You got the short circuit operator. It allows you to skip remaining tasks. It has the what else is there? I don't even know. Setup. What is it called? Setup teardown. That's another thing I learned. Setup and teardown in Airflow. If you have a task that creates a cluster, you always want the delete cluster to run even after the query fails, right? If this fails, in a typical DAG, this one would not run because all the upstream failed. But if you declare this as requiring setup, then this will always run. And now you know. And now you're like, wow, I wish I knew this. I talked about this with a coworker and she was like, wait, I wish I knew this. I would have implemented this other thing so much nicer if I knew this existed. The ARG for an XCOM stream? No. What if I did a stream where I wrote Airflow operators? That would be so boring. And also it would have no practical effects. What are you using Airflow for? Orchestration? I mean, the thing that people use Airflow for. Triggering jobs to run depending on other jobs. Reading inputs from cloud storage, writing them to other places in cloud storage. modifying data, downstream dependencies, everything. Still yapping, people would watch. Actually, I'm surprised that like the when I do programming streams, I feel like more people watch, but less people chat. It's a kind of a weird thing. Is that people are like, well, what the programming? I love to watch it, but also not say anything in the chat. When I did my Pico 8 stream, it did get a lot of views on YouTube compared to my usual VODs. And I think because people are searching for Pico 8. They're like, well, what the Pico 8? This guy's streaming Pico 8, I gotta watch that. But then when I check the stats to see where people are watching from, it said like some percentage of it came from Reddit. But I'm like, I don't know how to find where someone posted it on Reddit. I'm like, it was not in the Pico 8 subreddit. So I'm like, where did people find this? And then if I search for like the YouTube URL, nothing shows up. So I'm like, I can't find it. I don't know who posted this stream on Reddit. Whatever, I just don't know. Just didn't have to watch much. Was excited to see what games I was going to make. The rat game. That was cool. I think one game that I could make. Do you all remember this old game? Rabbit Bell Flash game? What was it called? Winter Bells. Do you remember? Does anyone remember this game? This was a cool game. I remember this one back in the day. You have a rabbit, like you jump, and then like you basically go up until like as far as you can, and then if you fall down, you die. I mean, you don't die, but the game ends. And then this just like, you know, go as high as you can. This feels like a simple game you could make. I think this could be totally makeable in Pico 8, and someone has done it already, but I could try making it. And then I think another game that I could try to make is, it's ancient, feels vaguely familiar. Also welcome Marklar. It was a classic back in the day when there were no games to play. That was one of them. It's part of the original collection of games. Most of them were 10 of 10 Kino. It was good. There was like another game that I played recently that I think could be created quite easily. It is this one. I feel like this one could be quite doable in Pico 8. The gameplay is like not that complicated. This is the one where like you run, you have a character that you can't control besides telling them when to jump. And then like you hit against walls and stuff like that. Can we skip? Yeah, skip the cutscene. Basically the character is always running and then you just tap to jump. I feel like this would be quite straightforward to make in Pico 8. And it is also pretty fun. Alright, you can run and jump between platforms. And then once you have the basic engine going, all you gotta do is just add platforms. Right? I think it's totally doable. And it is also quite fun. Now the way to get it to have exposure is to, instead of just making it a game, you could make it a fan game. Take your favorite VTuber and then put them in the game. And then they'll be like, whoa, what the, you made a game for me? Well, I would love to play this. And then people play it, they're like, whoa, what the, that's amazing. Everyone should check this out. So true, right? That's how you get people to play your game. To make it a fan game. It sounds so doable. Mooncat. Oh yeah, I feel like a lot of UFO 50 games could probably be made in Pico 8 as well. Which ones? I don't know. I have not really played UFO 50. Original by the dev Ferry Halim, for once I'm not mistyping. Original. I just don't know. I do have a list of game ideas actually. Game ideas list. We can make like a fishing mini game. What if we had like Web fishing's minigame where you have to like tap a button several times. You have like a meter that goes up or down. You gotta hold the button and then you gotta like start tapping it. It's another game that could be made. One button platformer like the one I just showed. The dinosaur game, you know, the one where you're offline in Chrome and then you got the dinosaur jumping over the cactus. That's another game that's pretty simple to make. And then Jump King, that's a thing. And then the Winter Bells game I just showed. Picross could be doable, although kind of complicated. A Vampire Survivors-like game. A platformer game where you draw and place platforms. So we played a few games like that, where your character moves automatically, but then you can put like blocks in the way so that they turn around. You could put like things that force them to jump to get to the destination, things like that. Remember that game Shy Guy Surfing? That was a fun game. That feels like it'd be quite doable as well. Let me show you specifically. If you don't remember, this game was actually quite enjoyable. Wait, this guy made this game? This is the guy, I've been getting his videos in my recommended. This is the guy who made the Balatro Balatro remix? Hold on. I didn't know he also made this game. What the heck? YouTube. He made this one Balatro music. This one. I keep getting this in my recommended, and it is quite good. Oh, he did make this one. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, this game though, something similar to this game feels like it would be doable. In Pico 8. Oh, I have to sign in. Never mind. Basically, you're like surfing, you can jump, you can move around. That is a possible game to make. It will probably not be as fun as the real game. It's possible. The original site was down for a while. Apparently he integrated Ruffle into it. The classics are back. I love when Flash games are not dead. You can finally play old games. And then you could have a game where you give change. Remember that? We played some games where like you have characters walking up to you giving you money and then you have to like give exact change. That's a game you could make. You being a cashier, giving change to people. That was the fun part of Supermarket Sim. People would give you the credit card, you have to type in the number. People would give you money, you would have to give them the exact change. That's a game that could be made. And then, you know, Sokoban, classic game where you push blocks. Those are some games. Breakout / Pong, another classic simple game. Oh, I should add Space Invaders. It's another game that seems like it'd be quite easy to make. I don't know. Also game delivery games, such as Death Stranding. I don't know how well they would make, or how well they would do in 2D, but I do enjoy playing games where you just like walk from one place to another. Now, I'm not sure if there are any like 2D games that are like that, but it's possible. You could design a map, you could walk around. A lot of things to consider. And I didn't think I would get into game dev, but Pico 8 has changed my mind. I'm now so motivated. And I feel like a lot of my issue with wanting to make games is that like you gotta learn to make graphics that are cohesive. You gotta sometimes consider making music and sound effects as well. Or like, you know, downloading them from somewhere. But then in Pico 8, you know, the palette is limited. The number of pixels you have is quite small. It feels less intimidating, and you can make your own music in it. And I think that's cool. Anyway, that's me yapping. I'm sure you're all just fishing and you're like, what's he even saying? He's naming games that I've never even heard of. What are some other like simple games? I would love to know. I like went through my list of games I played and I made that list that I just named based on some of these. But surely there's some that I've missed. This one was pretty fun as well. This is another single button game. Your character runs around in a circle, there's obstacles in the way. You have to like jump over them in time. I think that's nice. It's a nice game. And then what? Oh, what about a shoot 'em up game? A shmup game? That's a thing. This one was fun. A Woloop-like game. What if I made Woloop? I can make Woloop in Pico 8. Could I? Is that a thing I could do? How would I even do that? I don't know. I have a few game ideas written down. What are your game ideas? Match 3? Let me write that down. Match 3 game. Match 3. About 2048. No, people have done 2048. I feel like that's not as interesting. I doubt I will ever get to them. And what are some interesting ones? So that I might make them. Create.p8. No. That would be too much. Imagine designing things. Imagine doing anything. You know, Pico 8 can interact with the browser. You can send data from browser to Pico 8 memory. And I feel like there could be something like that. You could have like Twitch interaction in a game as well. I don't know. You could read recent data from some API somewhere. You could make a game where what if like chat sends a message and then it summons a thing in the game because you have JavaScript integration. That's possible. A lot of things to consider. Gaming. You could make I don't know. Discord? What if what if you made Discord? What if you interacted via Discord? What if you could something? The scope of this one is too much. What if it's not though? Some people have made some like crazy things in Pico 8. People have done many a thing. Pico 8 games. Top games tagged Pico 8. Solitude was pretty impressive. Someone made Doom in Pico 8. Civ-like. Okay, I don't enjoy Civilization type games, so I don't think I would make one. But yeah, I don't know. Cool games. Oh, this was made in Pico 8. Simplify some mechanics. Civ. Civs are probably easy to make but hard to make as well. I've never really played a Civilization kind of game, so I don't actually know the first thing about them. What are some games? Racing game, Sonic game, Celeste 2. Celeste 2. Wait, this was made in Pico 8. A JRPG. Nah. Cause like JRPGs require like writing and like stats and enemies. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna end the lobby soon. Everyone, this is your warning. The lobby will be closed shortly. Perhaps this is your 2-minute warning. Okay, you complete your fishing. We'll take a photo in the void. I will photograph in the void, and then I will end the stream shortly. We play this one. Oh, what the? Pico Wars, Advance Wars, but in Pico 8. Whoa. 2D shoot 'em up with a block button. Totally possible. Entirely a thing that could exist. Friday Night Funkin'. Golf game. Breakout. Add town puzzle. Sliding puzzle. Pico Snail. Oh, this is the official Snail's House game. Golf Monday. Frog legs. Hitbox. Brutal Pico race. Snake-like. Get in Santa's pants. Random survival horror game idea. Many such things. Snails. Everyone loves the House of Snails. Oh, what is this one? This one looks cool. Legends of Xenia. Blob game. Pong game. Frog King. Pico chat. Anyway, that's it, everyone. It is now time to close the lobby. Everyone, look over here. Actually, don't look yet. I'm gonna screenshot this. Katamari. That's also that's a possible thing. True. All right, everyone. We will now take a commemorative photo right here. Right here. I'm sure these two are probably AFK. That's fine, actually. You know what? This is a good enough photo. This is probably fine. Take that photo. We take this photo. And now I will end the stream. The stream is now over. Thank you for joining. No, actually, okay, people are not AFK. Actually, okay, this person's AFK. Let us stand by. Oh, I fell off. Okay, don't stand over there. That is too far. We have gone too far. Write this down as you are vanishing soul. Try to replenish your energy to get somewhere. I don't even know what that means. Alright, go here, but don't step off, okay? Do not fall off. Alright. There we go. I gotta get this fish first. Alright. There we go. And then you do this. Okay, we're done. Thanks for stopping by. I will now quit the game. The lobby will now be closed. What the heck happened to me? I clicked return to lobby. Oh, because I was in camera mode. Okay. Wait, where did I go? Alright, save and quit. Alright, let's rate someone. What is this picture? This picture is Lighthouse in Podersdorf am See, Austria. Very cool. Alright, thanks for stream. Thanks for watching. What? Do you see that illegal instruction at something? What was that? I've never seen that before. Alright, outro scene. Ooh, Puzzle Day. Puzzle Day. Chinese New Year. Lunar New Year. Corn Chip Day. That's a good one. Lot of things related to the Lunar New Year. Corn Chip Day. We could do Corn Chip Day raid. Hold on, is someone playing a puzzle game that I can raid? No, I don't think so. Alright, well, let's do National Corn Chip Day raid, perhaps? Yeah, you do that one. National Corn Chip Day raid. I spelled it wrong. Raid. I said not Rafe. Raid. Just raid. Okay, who do I raid? Who am I going to send you over to? I will send you to this channel. No, they have just started their stream. I don't really want to raid into a just starting stream. What about this person? All right, let's raid Darby. Darby VT. They're gonna play Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I will be back on Friday. What am I going to be streaming on Friday? I do not know. It could be Stitch and Picross. It could be something else entirely. I have not decided, but we will find out when that day happens. And that day will happen at some point. And now I'm gonna wait for that raid to go. The door has opened. You might have heard a bang sound. That was outside. Thanks for watching. It's good times. I'm gonna wait for several seconds now. And soon that raid will go. And then you'll be sent to a different stream where you will post a raid message. And then you will be greeted, perhaps. Maybe. It's possible. Anyway, good times. Out here. I will now stop talking. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.